Hello, everybody. Welcome to OPL Recaps Post Show Live. It's your boy Sergeant Mike Bryant with my friend Livid from Livid underscore PD from all your social medias, right? X, Instagram. Follow my boy, check him out, and Sono, which we'll talk about here in a second. We want to thank our sponsors for hooking us up. Check out Blue Line Smokes.biz. They're in the chat. Blue Line Smokes in this family. Nobody smokes alone. Got our friends Dot One Tactical as well. Their link is pinned in the chat. Check them out, man. Listen, I tell you what, when we did this video, living and played around with these little tire deflation devices. Oh my
Yeah.
god, man, these things are amazing. I love them. I'm gonna try to get our boy Dan Ferrick some love out in the Northwest. Got to get you some of those to try out on Katie's car. How's that sound?
Reverse Uno, probably. I'll go out to some
Yeah,
flats of my own.
that's right. Write a song about it. Don't forget to check us out on all of our social media platforms as well. On behalf of Jimmy and myself, OPL recaps on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hit us up, man. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Listen, we got friends in low places and in high places there, living. And guess what? We want to connect with you guys wherever you are, all across the country. Some people even as far as across the water, man. So listen. I'm happy to be here. What about you? What do you think about the show tonight, bud?
It was pretty much the standard for being a cop long term. A lot of downtime, a lot of things that people probably wouldn't find that interesting. Probably 80% of the job is, you know, talking people down or what happened, was a crime committed. It was pretty tame, I think. Car crashes and uh, just standard calls. But I mean, that's what makes your career. If every call was exciting, you wouldn't make it 20 years. Yeah.
You got a good point there because we're talking about police work, and in police work, there's a lot of adrenaline dumps and all kind of chemicals that the fight or flight stuff that jumps into that bloodstream. And if you're going high pace 24/7, 365, that's not great for your heart. So a lot of these calls, you see officers just talking like normal, like nothing's happened. And then we're talking to people on the worst day of their life for like a vehicle crash. That's the most traumatic thing they've experienced in their entire life. And we're like, all right, no problem. Get the ambulance to come in, just give me your ID. Everything's gonna be fine. And they're like hyperventilating and shaking. You know what I'm talking about. You went through a long
Yeah.
career, and here you are still standing.
You tell people like, hey, the car can be fixed, you can't, things like that. But when it's your $50,000 car split in half, it doesn't seem that way in the moment, you know.
Yes.
But it you do have to take those calls to balance out the ones where you are going all out.
Yeah. No question about that.
Like kicking the door down and going in a house that you don't know what's happening.
We can't act that's fine. We're gonna get into that in a second. But I tell you what, we were given the privilege to experience the Wheeling, West Virginia PD tonight, their first episode. They got some love on the show too. I was not saying I was surprised, but I was like, all right, let's find out a little bit more about this Wheeling, West Virginia. I don't know if you got any West Virginianites tuning in or in the chat, but we did a little bit of research. It's not even a big town, man. It's got like 25 to 27,000 people in it. Pretty small area. I was able to pull a little bit up on the map, and it's right off like the border of like Pennsylvania. Probably looks like a few miles from Pennsylvania. What do you know about West Virginia? You got any family or friends up there? I know you got a cool story or some oddity about West Virginia you could talk to the people about.
I don't have any family. I've never been to West Virginia, I don't believe. My only link to West Virginia is uh, I watch these channels on YouTube to try and learn, educate. And there's a channel that has this family from there called the Whitakers, and they're from a place called Aud, West Virginia. and it's just one of those things where it's sort of like an inbred story,
Mm.
and a lot of the people can't even speak. They just make sounds like audible grunts and barks. And if you've never seen it, um, just look up Whitakers on YouTube. And they all, as far as I know, they most of all of them still live together to this day because there's only a few of them that are like able to take care of the group, but they're very old. They're
Mm.
probably 70s. So when the one that's the most capable, passes away, I'm not really sure what will happen, to be honest with you. But it is
Um,
a very interesting take, and me and Katie did look up, and this place is somewhat near there. So I bet it's an interesting cast of characters we'll see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They had a couple of calls. That yeah, it seemed like regular police calls.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you want to see from a show like this. Just not the crazy things. I guess they had the abandoned house call where um the one officer was there and the officer that they were following went to back him up. And it wasn't super odd, but what one thing about this show that always hits home is the way the producers basically uh, they fine tune what they want to put completely on the show. We're walking through houses with our guns out, and some of these houses are, especially abandoned houses, are some of the worst things you've ever seen. There were two calls with abandoned houses tonight, and if people are in there, as the producer said and showed, uh, leaving fresh deposits in toilets that do not flush, you know that you're not in the best part of town. You know.
Oh yeah, and you and I have spoken about different things before, and it's in my experience, it's a miracle that they would even bother to use the toilet because you can't flush it anyway. So wherever they do it in the house, it's just there till it ain't. So that was actually pretty courteous of them to do it to use the commode.
Yeah, because we've seen it in corners, just on the floor, in paper bags and on sheets. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I gotta tell
It
you,
turns out when you're high, you don't care much. You know what
no,
I mean?
no, the sink, the toilet, the kitchen sink, the refrigerator, it's just bad. And they don't care about the house. And we talked about this. Somebody owns that house. That's just not an abandoned house that
Right.
nobody owns. It could be the property appraiser at that point. It could be whoever. The city could own it, but somebody owns it, and that place is their walls are getting stained by human feces at some point. I'll guarantee it.
And that's why I think some people would probably say when they saw the title, I think the banner said burglary in progress.
Yeah,
Most
report
people
of
would look
break
at that
in.
house and
Hmm.
say, "How could this be burglarized?" Because somebody does own it, and if you go into it with the intent to commit a crime, it's
That's
burglary.
burglary. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So that's why I say it's deceptive sometimes when you think nobody lives there. What's the big deal? Well, like I say, somebody owns it.
Right.
So
Right.
in 50% of the time, you can't figure out who it is. In my experience.
Right. Real quick shout out to everybody in the chat. The ladies are popping in saying hello. We miss y'all. Big Sean, Christy, what's up? We miss y'all. What's DJ? There's my homie. Good to see all of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really miss you guys too. Somebody asked me about day shift and what's going on with that. We were talking about that, you and I, a little bit ago. And you know what? I miss nights. I do, because let's face facts, right? Normal human beings are operating on that day shift schedule, but waking up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning, it still isn't normal to go to work and work from 4:30 to 4:30 or 5 to 5, something like that. It's still brutal, man. I want to take a nap every day around 7 a.m. and it sucks. I got to go to the gym and do all this stuff, try to keep myself awake, walk around the lake, stuff like that. Go talk to transients, and that's all cool. But at night, I don't have to fight to stay awake. I was just always good to go. Um, did you experience that when you worked on patrol, Alan?
I could not stand day shift at all. The calls I didn't care for. I don't know. I'm just suited for nights. I still stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning half the time. I just can't sleep. You know, it's when I'm like I get creative, like my mind starts wandering. You know what I mean? Like how do they make applesauce? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is,
Right. It's always something.
but but I couldn't. I just could never get used to it. You know, in my case, I would go in at 6,
Hmm.
and it's just I don't know. I'm not a morning person. I'm bad. I don't like drink coffee or have a routine, so I can never get myself like motivated early. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It
Yeah.
seems like people that are good at it, they have some sort of routine, like
Hmm.
an energy drink or coffee or something. And I've just never been that way.
Yeah. No, me either. And it's the nature of the beast with law enforcement, right? You do stuff routine, you get jammed up, you get ambushed, you get
Yeah.
always expect the unexpected and let's roll with it, right? Um, but yeah, this day shift stuff is for the birds. I'm gonna stay on it because I'm getting older now, and I can't run and gun with the young boys anymore. Those young bucks are out there hitting the streets, man. They're getting in foot chases every night, chasing cars or sticking cars. Or it's not always fun like that, but it's inherently more dangerous at night than it would be during the daytime. For whatever reason, I don't want to get complacent. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I don't know, man. I got to get used to this sunlight thing again.
Yeah. It's, I worked night, even before I was a cop, I worked the night shift. You know, it's the excuse then I think was you make more money.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? When you first get married and you have a kid, you're just like, we need every dollar we can get. And that's kind of how I got caught into it. And
Hmm.
then the next thing you knew, I just could not do anything but that. Like you give me like a pack of nerds, and you can send me out. You can send me out at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll be awake driving around. You know what I
So,
mean?
are you saying on a pack of nerds you do just about anything at night on patrol?
Pretty much. Just those little nerd ropes I used to have. You
Yeah,
know what I'm talking
the
about?
ropes. Yeah.
It's like if you ain't got time to eat, you just chew on that on the way to your call because there's a lot of times eating is a privilege when you're a cop. Like you don't get to. You don't have. If you got, we have zones, and
Mm-hmm.
my all the calls in my zone are stacked on me normally, unless it's
Hmm.
just something that can't wait.
Right.
So you clear, bang, it beeps. You clear, it beeps,
Another
and you
call.
keep
Another
going
call.
till it don't beep.
Right. Right. Wow. So you were it's in lieu of having a quality meal, are you telling me that you were gnawing on nerds ropes
I don't think
between
most
calls?
people. Yeah, I don't think most people know that that's your life. Sometimes it's not the healthiest. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? But when you have to stay awake till 7 o'clock in the morning driving,
Yeah,
you got to find your thing, whatever
right.
that is.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with you that night shift is not the healthiest thing for the human body. But you know what? Pretty soon they'll have robots doing that job, and it'll be simplified for the next generation. They'll have a robot in their car, and the robot will drive, and they'll kind of look around, make sure they're not getting ambushed, stuff like that. The cop will be there to fix it if anything goes wrong, and chase a guy on foot if need be. Let's get those robots with those chasing legs and those arms that can like go
You remember
gadget
that
arms.
thing I sent you one time that had a robot that went up to the car for you while
Yeah.
you sat in your car? Remember, it was
Yes.
real. It was
It's
real.
real.
It went up to the car. It stood by the window, and give me your license, whatever, and it brought it back to you. I don't
Hmm.
know about all that, but it was wild.
Yeah, that is absolutely wild. But listen, it's happening, folks. If you think that we're kidding with this, I'm telling you right now, Alan, excuse me, our county is experimenting with AI taking calls. So when you call in, you don't talk to a person, you're talking to AI, right? And then all of our computer systems are slowly integrating AI into the new stuff, report writing, and they're looking at the nature of calls, and they're you know s- factoring in the danger factor, putting percentages on things. I'm telling you, there's some stuff going on that we can't really get into with AI, and it's be a minute or two. But the robots will be going to get the DLs and stuff and do the felony stops for you. And you can be behind the shields and stuff like that. When the danger breaks out, you'll be fine.
And I could see another job, unfortunately, that the robots might get a foothold on, and it's hard for them to keep enough people. That's dispatchers. Because the
That's
one
it.
thing a robot won't do is have
Yep.
an emotion one way or the other. Like they
Right.
won't have that shock value. It'll say, "This is what I need. This is where I need it," and a robot's just going to say, "Okay, this is what you need."
This is what you're
You
getting.
know what
Yep.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's there's a lot of PTSD put on dispatchers. They have a woman crying in the closet. There's a man in my house. It's
Mm-hmm.
very stressful to be a dispatcher,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, because they're living it. They are living it. And when you're shouting on the radio, I need help. They're just imagining what's going through their mind is catastrophic
Right.
because they hear your voice every day
Of
and they
course.
know what normal you sounds like, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know what, like, hey, I'm out on a call, blah, blah, blah. Then they hear your voice go up or loud. They
Right.
know something's wrong. It's just,
Oh
you
yeah.
just get to know people.
Oh, no question about it. We talk to each other every day on the radio and things of that nature. So yeah, when I hear an officer hit that button and I can hear a disturbance in the background, or I can hear him running and he's not saying anything. We could tell somebody start heading that way. Central, where is he at? Pull it
Yeah.
up on the map, zoom in on his location. I mean, even with our cameras now, there's some AI capability where we can live tap into what the officers are doing, and it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot going on. We're not going backwards in technology. We're only going forward, so we might as well get used to it, right? But I want to
Yeah.
put this, have this put on the poll at OPO recaps. Are you a day person or a night person? Are you a morning person or a night person? Because I believe most of the people that are watching this show, stand up to midnight, stand after midnight with us, these are semi-night people. They may not want to admit it yet, but they're semi-night people. They're vampires, kind of like us. And we're paid for it in the morning, but sleeping a little bit, didn't have coffee later, right?
And this show, obviously, that's the reason why it has to be sort of situated where it is. But if this show was actually from 11 to 2, it'd be more interesting.
It would be great. It would be amazing. Yeah,
So they
because that's
have
when
to
it gets
start it
crazy.
early. You know what I mean? But this is just when it's getting good. Midnight is just Cinderella's just getting to the ball. She's not leaving yet. You know what
Absolutely
I
right.
mean?
Absolutely
It
right.
makes a difference. So what can you do? Maybe we can do this after and give them something to do and somewhere to talk about it.
Listen, this is what we plan on doing for the foreseeable future. Um, I do work again day shift. Now I'm not working day shift this weekend, so we're doing it this weekend first. The schedule worked out for us, but we'll see what happens next weekend. Will I be up till 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I got to be at work at 5? I don't know. We'll see, but it depends on what you guys want. What you guys show me, put in the chat how this is received on YouTube and X and all that good stuff. And if we get the feedback, we'll be here. If not, maybe every 2 weeks, we'll see. Maybe just on a Saturday, we'll see. We're testing it out live. You guys are first to the trough with us, and we appreciate you being there. So the poll's going up. Are you a day shift or night shift person? And I kind of want to know why, how this all happened. Because before law enforcement, I was not really a day shift person. Still, I mean, it was just I love staying up at night. I don't know. What is it about that? Is it something in our brains, how we grew up? What is it?
I think it's body chemistry. I think you go to school all day and it seems boring and this and that. And
Well,
the day doesn't start till it's your part of the day, it seems like to me anyway. Like I get home at 4 or 5, you know, and it seems like you go to baseball practice or something. You got another hour, and then around 7 or 8, the night's like yours, just for however long it lasts. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Even as a kid.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so if you got to stay up and watch, something at 11 o'clock at night, it seemed like it was something special.
yeah. No,
Nowadays, you can stream anything, so it doesn't matter. But you
yeah.
know what I mean. I don't know. For me, it's body chemistry. Like I couldn't, if you told me I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I still couldn't fall asleep. I just have to do it tired. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think there's a special place in hell for very cheery morning people. I listen. I love y'all,
Yeah.
but something ain't right when you're chipper at 4 a.m. I mean, what's going on here? Okay. I don't know if you got natural epinephrine running through your veins as soon as your eyes opens or what, but it takes me hours and hours and hours to get going once I wake up. I've tried everything, well, not everything. I haven't tried any narcotics that would. It's
Yeah,
against the
they're all
the
downers
rules.
though. So I
uh,
I can't either. I don't even want to talk to anybody when I first wake up. I feel
right,
like I'm just like I have
right.
to like warm up like a car.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Get me running first, and then we'll try this.
Yeah.
So we saw some things tonight. Speaking of running like a car, I want to get into that stick hit in a little bit, but I want to talk about somebody that was running, and I'm sure you all saw this and had many questions about it because we were going back and forth with it. The warrant arrest of the guy in the sauna spa thing, mud thing. Alan, what was happening with this guy covered in was that was mud?
Spa mud. Yeah, he was at a
S-
spa.
Oh, that's the kind of stuff you do when you're on your. Oh, I got you. On the weekends, you go
Yeah.
get that spa mud put all over yourself.
Hmm.
Except those little
Now,
Asian
why he
ladies
had
are.
a bucket in his hand? That's I don't know about that. That
I
seems
thought
a little
somebody
weird.
did it for you.
I did too, actually.
Okay, all right. So that's a little strange. What stuck out to you? I had a couple things that stuck out to me about Mr. Alan Wayne Bogus, and we'll talk about that in a second. But what jumped off the page for you there?
Um, when they started talking to him and he still kept rubbing the mud on himself, that was number one red flag for me. I knew that he wasn't going peacefully one way or the other because that's just not normal. It seems like he was doing it as a distraction, but he was also thinking like, "What should I do?" Because they had the door blocked.
Mm-hmm.
And but that was my trigger. I would have cuffed him muddy and everything right then
Right
and there
there.
if it was me,
Yes.
because the fact that the guy kept saying stop rubbing mud on yourself, and he acted like he didn't know what he was doing, it means he was preoccupied with thinking about his escape. Really.
Yes. Yes. It's amazing that jumped off the page to you as a former law enforcement officer because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking you got him in an enclosed room. It's two of yous in there. He's got to fight through both of you and risk life and limb to get past you. Why not just do it right there? Matter of fact, get him back in that room where you got him out of. Don't even let him out into the foyer area, if you will. And let's just click, click. You know he's going to jail already. Why walk him outside?
Yeah, I didn't get that,
Were they going to rinse
especially
him
if he
off
had
with a
warrants.
hose? Did they have a bucket of water waiting for him out there? What was going on to bring him outside when you could just put handcuffs on him right in the building, walk him out to the car? He's getting it in muddy anyway.
Sometimes this is no disrespect, but sometimes it feels like small town law enforcement does things just a little bit kinder because
Mm,
they're maybe they don't have as many people that just wig out on them. You know what I mean?
right.
I would have immediately thought someone doing that. Like if I was going to do a fraud, and I wouldn't buy mud at a spa. You know what I mean? So that right there to me was like something ain't right, because who fraudulently buys a spa day? It's a guy.
Well,
Um,
Colorado.
just
Um,
saying.
under the influence of some things,
but
maybe a
but
little
the
more
the,
sticky than that mud.
the kinder policing thing, I don't know. I just don't always jive with it. You know what I mean? Like I don't believe in like emotional policing either. I believe you got to be neutral,
Right.
because it's not about what you know; it's about what you can prove.
Yep. Yep.
Always.
Yep.
But the guy
Well,
had a warrant, so you wouldn't have been wrong to just cuff him up right there. You know
and we're from the old school. We're always taught they come off as easy as they go on, right? You can
exactly.
detain anybody if you have a lawful reason to do so, right? You think he's got a
Right.
warrant. He fits the description of somebody who had a warrant. Whatever the case may
Mm,
be, we're here for a reason. Now that I'm here, because I was called here for a lawful reason,
right.
I'm going to go ahead and detain this guy because I don't know if you heard that at the end when they caught him, the sergeant and everybody's going off on the guy, and they said one of the cops broke their leg chasing this guy. That is horrible. All you had to do, Sarge, and I'm not second guessing their what they're thinking. Maybe it's different laws in Colorado that we're not privy to, because I know they're a very liberal state, and I know there are some things that happens there that they can get jammed up for. I think they've lost qualified immunity in Colorado. I've got a guy who works for Daytona who came from that area. So if that's the case, then yeah, maybe they had to wait for the confirmation of the warrant before they can detain them. But if that's the case, then as well, hey, let's stay inside and wait for the confirmation.
Yeah, you could be right. I'm not sure. Whenever I see some of these states, it does confuse me as a cop because some people will use battery and assault reversed.
Right,
Touch or
right,
strike is
right.
our battery, but in some other state up north, it'll be called assault. And
Correct.
assault here is just by word or threat.
Right.
By word or threat. If they're saying, "Hey, I'm going to hit you with a baseball bat," but they're not holding a baseball bat, it's not really
You
an
got nothing.
assault here.
Right, right. He didn't have the apparent ability to do so, to carry out the threat,
Yeah,
right? So
but
that's what you need for our charge as well.
that did remind me what you're saying there did remind me because they said he's going to get charged with everything that happened as a result of him.
Right.
And that I did kind of write that down on the pad because most people don't realize. I've seen this happen thousands of times. Most people don't realize that if you're just the getaway driver sitting outside the bank, whatever happens in the bank, you get charged with. So
Mhm.
let's say you're robbing the clerk. I come in and say, freeze. I shoot at you, but I hit the clerk and kill him. You still get charged
The
with that
bad guy
murder,
gets
even though
charged.
I
Yep.
shot him.
Correct. The bad guy gets charged. Correct.
And most people, they just do not know. They just think I'm the getaway driver. And, law is very complicated, really. Um, because you have to understand it. You know what I mean? And that's why I say I tried to really, when I first started out, I tried to really understand if somebody asked me a question. I didn't want to go, let me ask somebody.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But he is going to get charged with those as if he battered those cops. He will get, and a broken leg is permanent injuries.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So,
Getting the
you
charge.
know,
So yeah. Alan Wayne Bogus, the smooth criminal, didn't get away. He almost got away.
he did almost get away. I think he got winded because it's mountainous. You see
Yeah,
how he was running up and down the
yeah,
I believe in Daytona Beach he might have got away. I don't
he
know.
may
He
have.
jumped out in the ocean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, he could blend in with the sand with all that mud on him, stuff like that. He looked like a chupacabra, is what he looked like. You ever seen those chupacabras down in South America? They're all white and their eyes are beady black, and he's like creeping around in the woods. Yeah, that's what it
He
reminded
looked
me of.
scary though. There was something about him that was like off-putting to me, like just
The eyes.
eerie.
There was like no pupil. It was all like dark eyes, right? And he was like
Yeah.
peering through their souls.
I mean, there's different kinds of danger. Somebody doesn't have to be a big guy to be scary.
Correct.
There was just something off about that guy.
No question about it. No question about it. But guess what? Luckily for him, he's smooth as a baby's bottom on his way to jail. So be no
Yeah,
resistance or
good.
no friction.
There you go. Hopefully, you got
Mister.
those plastic seats.
Oh my God, yeah, because the ones you could just spray off real good, not the ones with creases and
Exactly.
threading in them. Oh my God, Mr. Bogus got some very real charges. Happy for him. Good job, Colorado, taking
Yeah.
care of it.
Nice.
Well, I can tell you this. I was happy to see. I hope nobody actually broke their leg. I hope it was more like a sprain or something like that. I'll try to follow up and see what's going on. But we went from that, and I'll tell you, one of the best things this show ever did was the triple play.
Hmm.
I love the triple plays, even the Bolo segment. But yeah, the Bolo segment sometimes isn't as good as triple plays to me. But this week's Bolo segment had me almost in tears, livid. I mean, what do you have any experience with smashing grabs or mass retail thefts or burglaries in your career?
I mean, that's that emboldened. No, I don't have any experience with that. That's the kind of thing that happens at midnight when the store's closed, not when the guy's standing there. It
Broad
did
daylight.
look like they were closed, like he
Hmm.
literally closed and locked the door. But that is so brash. And here's the thing: somebody had to convince 15 people to commit a felony with them because that wasn't.
Uh, I don't think
You
they
know
had
what
to
I
be
mean.
convinced.
I'm just saying they assembled like the Avengers.
They did. Well said.
I couldn't find 15 people that I know that would do that with me. I'm just saying. Um, I don't even know.
Oh
Like
God.
I don't. I was kind of chatting with you before. Like if I was the first cop to get there, I would be inclined to check on the people that work there before I would be inclined to chase the 15 people.
Right.
Because usually there's some blood on the ground when you see something like that. Like, because you don't know what happened in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you can't chase 15 people in 15 different directions. I know that much.
Yep. That's correct.
So you'd have a real something on your hand. If you weren't like this VCAT thing where you got like 6 cars with you, somebody gets there first, and that would be a handful right there.
No question about it. And I guarantee you, majority of those cars are stolen.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
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 But those people would scatter to the wind. And I mean, they were in a plaza, and it is open. Like at nighttime, they would stand out obvious. Like, why are you
Right.
15 different guys sweating out here with.
Right.
But in the daytime, they could have just walked down the road like I was eating at McDonald's. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. No, you're right. Put it on the poll, please. At OPO Recaps. Have you ever seen 15 bad guys assemble like the Avengers? I don't know that I've ever seen that. Um, Outside of a nighttime, like you said, burglary of some sort. Um, but my heart just broke for the poor elderly shop owner, and they pushed him down, and then
Yeah,
for them to give us the update to let us know he had a stroke, as a cost of that. If he goes downhill, it's going to be really difficult to charge all 15 or 7, however many of them,
yeah,
with his demise. Let's pray that that does not happen. But that is absolutely something that I hadn't I didn't expect to see. And then listen, usually when I could we could assume that's not the best neighborhood, right? Just you could just tell they're not going to Beverly Hills and doing something like that,
yeah,
right? They're doing it in a lower, socioeconomic community. I mean, the shop owners in there with his shirt off, counting
yes,
jewelry. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you a couple of things. Neither here nor there. All I'm saying is it's going to be difficult to charge 15 people. I hope they do. If anything were to happen to that guy, they get their just desserts.
yeah. That's so complicated. I don't. I mean, it's one of
Yeah,
those things where they need people to roll over on each other if they have any chance of catching all those people. It's just
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I've seen them hit the cannabis stores. Normally do that. They'll come in 2 or 3 cars. They'll hit the store and they'll clean the place out. There was a crew of them doing that out of the Orlando area. That's traveling all
yeah,
across Central Florida and tearing people up. They got us a few times when I was in CID, and it was so bad that one of the agencies here in the area started a task force with FDLE. For those of you who don't know, FDLE is the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and a couple of us were involved with that until that FDLE took it over and made all those arrests, start charging people with racketeering,
hmm,
criminal enterprises, RICO stuff like that. So, I mean, those are always great cases to be a part of. Unfortunately, there's collateral damage with that. Whenever there's mass robberies and burglaries like that, there's gun violence, turf wars. There's all kind of trash going on, and it's not safe for our community. So that sucks to be a business owner and lose all your stash, man. Could you imagine?
it probably makes them not want to get up in the morning. But I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how you would split stuff 15 ways. None of those people are the most honest type. So, uh, who makes the deal? Like, hey, you get the diamond watch and I get the necklace. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Well, there's no honor amongst thieves, no question about this. I guess whatever you get, but you can't,
okay.
I don't know. That's going to cause a little bit of a rift too, right? If I'm the guy holding the gun, and make sure somebody's got to give me a cut of their stuff, right? Otherwise, this ain't working out the way I wanted it to. So,
Yeah, it's just, you know, rock groups can't even stay together because there's four people trying to decide what's best, right?
right.
So how are these 15 guys going to do that?
There's no way. Somebody's rolling. No question about it. All you got to do is find the youngest one or the dumbest one who's never been arrested before. He's giving everybody else up. They're all on each other's social media. They're
Yeah,
all on each other's phones. Yeah, you'll be able to find them. Yeah, all you need prints off one of those cars or a tool used, and we're done.
or a high school kid wearing a $12,000 necklace.
That would be what we call a clue in law enforcement, ladies and gentlemen. A clue.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I hope that works out for them. Saw a bunch of different stuff tonight, Alan, and I'm going to tell you something. One of the things that freaked me out, my skin crawled when I saw this. The hair on the back of my neck rose up. Was the hitchhiker with the warrant? That's like
Yeah, it
it's like every scary movie, scary serial killer, scary movie type thing, right? The guy's walking down the highway, sweating profusely.
yeah, standing next to a tent with a
Yeah,
bag full of goodies.
right.
And there was a time where someone would have stopped and helped that guy. There was a
Yes,
time, and that
yeah.
would have been very dangerous. That's how you disappear.
That's how you disappear.
Yeah.
You know, these hitchhikers, man, they get a bad rap. When's the last time you actually saw a hitchhiker and thought to yourself, "Yeah, I want to help this guy out"? Have you? No, never crossed your mind.
Not anymore.
I,
Um,
I don't think it's ever crossed my mind. Never once in my entire 40 or year existence have I thought I want to help that sketchy looking guy on the side of the road with the knapsack with the stick with the knapsack on the end of it tied up like he'd been jumping trains. You ever seen that guy?
yeah, yeah. And you know what? You're more likely to help someone not asking for help. If there is a choice. If someone's asking for help, it's definite no. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I always picture someone's laying over in the ditch, and they're the decoy. That's what I picture, because
Trying to
based on
ambush
my
you.
life experience, it's what I would do if I was a bad guy. That's how I kind of think about it. Like I
Mm,
would put Katie on the side of the road, and I would
yes.
lay in the ditch 10 feet
Yeah.
away,
Yeah.
and I would say, "Hey, my car's broken." I mean, that's what I would do. That's just how my brain works. It's terrible, but being a cop will sort of corrupt some of that,
Yeah.
that right brain stuff.
Your lofty expectation of good people, right?
Yes.
It's like the Book of Eli. That was that movie, right? With Denzel
Oh
there
yeah.
and they did that with the distraction. They had the skinny lady with no teeth begging for help, and then the gang came out of nowhere. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a hitchhiker fan. I think hitchhikers may get a bad rap because of stuff like this, but I'm not here to find out. I'm not picking up any hitchhikers anytime soon.
No, no. And the thing is it's illegal to do it on the interstate. So they, how anyway. So you don't even if you see them, it is suspicious because they're
Right,
not even allowed to be there 90% of the time. You know what I
right,
mean? So it's kind of like that's your stop.
right, right. Yeah, that's good enough. All PC you need in the world, right there.
Yeah.
Um, People have been asking us for a couple of things in the chat, and we're going to get to it right at the end here as we go out on a different note here in a few minutes. But something else that popped out to me as I'm watching the show, there wasn't a specific theme of the show. Sometimes you watch the show and there'll be a pet theme, right? Or there'll be a weird marriage theme or, a drug theme. It was all over the place. One thing that I noticed that our boys from Hazen were not on the show tonight. I know we all noticed that. You had any inside
I,
scoop
I
on
I
that?
wasn't sure if they were supposed to be on the show. Were they on the list?
No,
I
they weren't
wasn't
on.
sure.
No, they're not on. They
Okay.
weren't on the rundown. They weren't on the roster. So, what do you think?
Mm.
You think they're taking a little short break, or?
I saw him hunting on Facebook. I saw the
Mm-hmm,
chief put a post, and I think he might have had his grandkids with him or something. And he
mm-hmm,
said, "We're out here getting in some hunt." That's how I took it. Huh?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
So
what does Katie know? Any inside scoop for the people?
she knows more about. I think she said it was his kids.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I just remember seeing a picture. I wasn't sure if it was kids or grandkids, but he was out hunting somewhere, and he was like, "You were out here doing it." So I figured, work can wait. You know, like
Yeah.
you know how them guys are when they start hunting. It's the season. They got to get it in.
Tis the season. Yeah, I will tell you, I was able to speak with Chief Taylor today via FaceTime. I was trying to get him to see us tonight. He's busy. That's what we'll say. He's busy. It is
Uh,
hunting season. You know,
yep.
hunting for
Talking to him in the
wabbits.
tree stand.
We've talked in some crazy places, being Chief Taylor. I tell you what, but yeah, he's not going to be around for a couple. I don't know how long. I can't say. It's not for me to say. Um, but I try to keep my ear to the ground. Talking to people from other departments. I got sources all over the country now, and it's great. But it is a little bit of a it sucks because you want to see your favorite people on. I know who's going to be on before the roster comes out. I'm talking to these people all the time. From cameramen to producers to all these people. You make friends, and they just start talking. And next thing you know, boom, you ain't gonna be here for how long? Come on, man. And then you try to get him on the show, and he's a little too busy for me too. But that's neither here nor there. I do know this. Tell all your friends, people. October is going to be a great month in Daytona. That's all I'm going to say. October is going to be a fantastic month in Daytona. You're going to see a lot of friendly faces on the OPO recaps page. A lot of pictures, a lot of good stuff. That's all I can tell him. Live it. That's all I'm going to say to him.
Hmm.
Is that enough?
That's a taste. That's all you get.
Just the little sprinkles. Give him a little dab.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's how we do.
exactly. Exactly.
Um, there was a separate call. And so I guess this kind of was a theme. Baton Rouge. Talk to me about Baton Rouge. Have you ever been to Baton Rouge or anywhere in Louisiana?
No, I haven't. I
Uh
haven't
oh.
been to Baton Rouge.
Uh oh. You're getting snug up on. You good?
What are you doing?
There they are, the bunny ears. Oh boy. She won a
Whoever
bet.
t- whoever
Yeah.
told you to do that, I'm writing a bad
Yeah.
song about
Yeah. Yeah. She had to win a bet. I saw the comment pop up. Sorry,
it.
bud.
Yeah, I have not been there. I've driven through there, but I never stopped. I don't know. It seems like it's just a hotter, sweatier version of this state to me. So I just keep trucking on through. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have anything there. Like I'm not I never was a big drinker. Like when I was young, I didn't drink at all.
Hmm.
Until I retired and my kids were out of the house. I never even drank a lick of anything. So it's not like I'd go to like Mardi Gras or something. Uh, for that reason, let's put it that way.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? If I went to some of those places, it'd probably be like when I go to Savannah, Georgia, because I got those old historic haunted houses, and
Yeah.
you know, I love that type of stuff more than I love partying. You know,
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, not that I like haunted houses, but I do like historic stuff. I like the culture of certain places, but Baton Rouge is an interesting place. I can tell you, even the way they do policing, it's a little different. And I did a little bit of research into the area. And I'm tell you, it's it's not the yeah, a lot of
if I
unsavory
had to guess,
individuals.
probably
Yeah.
some of those places have a median income of 15 grand or something. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh
I'm
God.
not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying
Yeah. Uh, I,
it
I,
affects everything.
That's a bad thing. 15 grand median income
Uh,
is not great. Dare I say. It's neither here nor there. Pretty sure they're great
yeah.
people in Baton
Oh
Rouge,
yeah.
but they're backed up to a sketchy abandoned house saying that his aunt or his mom lives there. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, bro, you gotta do better. There's a wooden plank across the front door.
Yeah. Smart.
It don't take a detective to figure out that nobody lives in this house. Let's not do this. Um, but that the second abandoned house for the night, and that house, livid, that the boar crashed through the window. Would have been the third abandoned house because I wouldn't have stayed there.
Old boy was just sitting in the chair
He was just
5 feet
chilling.
away. He was just sitting there. He's like, he ain't running me out of my house.
The original Florida man, right? He just sitting there watching TV, like, oh boy, here we are. He's
Old
seen some
boy.
things in his days, right?
Yeah, he has.
He
That
never
that that
seen
that
a
didn't scare him.
no. I mean, some of the things that guy's lived through, and I don't even want to get into it, but to see a sow crash through your sliding glass door, chasing your dog in a fit of rage, because the sow's probably thinking, I've been hunted by dogs before. I'm getting my payback now, right?
Yeah.
Crashes through the window and just standing there, like, who wants some of this? I kind of want to do a voiceover for that hog in that house and turn it into some kind of meme or a video or something. That is amazing.
It I don't know. It didn't seem to care. It didn't want anything in particular. It just didn't want to leave either. I don't know if that's like it's claiming the territory. But have you had some other wild cases like that in your career where there were some things in the house that shouldn't have been?
Well, yeah, I mean, besides strange crackheads, but yeah, I mean, there are animals that get into all kind of stuff around here, and then we've seen gators in houses, and we've seen, how about that thing the other day on social media where the guy shot the bear in his kitchen with the
Oh no!
AR-15? That was
Wow,
crazy.
I
That
didn't.
wasn't Florida. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a video um, that the guy was, I guess he was sleeping and he heard the commotion downstairs, and yeah, I ain't gonna do that to you, dog. And then the guy comes out with his AR-15 in his night vision, and as he's coming down the stairs, the bear kind of attacks him in his kitchen, and he puts seven in this bear and puts him down right in the kitchen. I haven't seen anything crazy like that in Florida because the bears ain't that aggressive.
Yeah.
But I've seen bears just wandering around the hood, like literally the hood. And even the crackheads are even scared of those bears. Coyotes in the hood,
Hmm.
gators in the hood. And it's like, oh man, because we got a canal that runs near one of our most you know, notorious projects, if you will. And those gators come out of that because it floods all the time. Those gators, they're coming out of drains and everything. So it gets wild around here, but it's not that bad.
When I got a call at a place like that, sort of in my hood, you know what they'd call that when they dispatched it? They call it the waterfront.
Okay.
I mean, you know what it means. Like I don't know, it's not very glamorous, but it is the waterfront. It's like
Yeah.
you have those things like when you if you're a cop somewhere where you grew up, it's easy. They say, hey, it's behind where the old Walmart was. But when you move somewhere that you've never been, that ain't so
Hmm.
easy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that hog fit the description. I can tell you that. And those things are aggressive. Um, there's a photo on Instagram of Sergeant Booth, some of the property that him and one of his buddies own. Him and his son shot they got hogs out there and bears out there everywhere. Um, Check that out when you get a chance. Me and him were talking about it since me and him are on the same shift now. We're just talking about going out and shooting hogs. I mean, they're legal to shoot year round because they're an invasive species in most parts of the country, especially here in Florida. So hopefully I never run into that situation because those things will bite and they will kill you. They
Yeah.
will gorge you with tusks and things of that nature. I don't want no parts of a hog. No parts of a hog at all. The sow ain't as bad as those boar hogs are because they're aggressive.
Hmm.
But yeah, I want no parts of any of that stuff. Do you eat wild
It's
wild hog?
I can't say I've ever she don't I have my four food groups, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the food groups that
She's probably
Carrie
gonna
told me
do it
about earlier.
herself. But speaking of Booth, I could have swore I saw him on a motorcycle here a little while ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So
he's a motorman. He's got his motor wings, but
okay.
yeah, he was on motors before he got promoted. Um, and yeah, he rides still.
because I thought it seemed like he disappeared off night shift, and the next time I saw him, it was a daytime video. He was on a motorcycle, and I thought that explains because these transfers, they're not every direction.
Right.
Uh, you could be the highest officer, deputy, but when you get promoted, you're the lowest of whatever that next thing is.
That's
So
correct.
you go to
That's right.
whatever shift they want you to. So I just
Yeah.
wonder what happened to him.
Yeah, he's just on day shift. I'm on his squad for right now. And when we have special events in town, he'll jump on a bike sometime and help out the motor guys with whatever they got going on. So yeah, you probably saw him on a bike. He loves that. If he could be the motor sergeant one
Yeah.
day in his career, I think he might endeavor to do that. We'll see.
Love is a good word too. Like you find something you really, really like, and you
Yeah,
could be a cop too. Ugh, you know,
yeah, yeah. My favorite thing was when I was like I said, I always tell the story when I was a stolen vehicle detective. That was the most fun time in my career. And then obviously working nights, uh, especially with this last squad I just had. Those young guys were squared away, man. There are some 10-8 guys, and they handled their business the right way. They weren't overly aggressive. They were professional men and women on that shift, easily trainable and moldable. So I like the direction our department is heading. But I had a lot of fun being a detective. And I can tell you right now, with Sergeant Booth, he loves being a motor. I can tell you that right now.
yeah.
He loves being on the boat too, because he's on that Marine unit, but he really likes being a motor.
I'm like everybody else. I was just wondering what happened to them because when we see guys on the show and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden they're gone, you don't realize that they're not working on the weekends or they're not working night shift.
hmm
And if you don't
hmm
do those two things, you'll never be on the show again. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Unless
unless it's
they're
a flashback.
right or a special event and when we're all working. Like we got
Yeah,
Biketoberfest coming up next month. I was saying October is going to be a busy month. We got that Blue Tie Gala coming up next month. We got all kinds of events coming up next month and for the rest of the year, really. So you'll see us out and about in full force. You'll see pictures on these pages. Like yesterday, we had a pretty significant event in the city yesterday. And there was a bunch of us out working and doing our thing because we had to. It was just one of those situations where it was all hands on deck. And people were finding us and I was taking pictures like, yo, listen, it's kind of a sensitive situation. We need to be taking pictures right now, but fans don't care. And guess what? They don't know because we make it seem like everything's okay and we keep it moving because we love the fans and we love the people. That's what it's all about, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So listen, overall, I would say great start to being back. We'll see what tomorrow night has to hold in store for us. Of course, Curtis will be back. The glorious Tom Rizzo, quality guy, and the fearless leader Dan Abrams. Maybe, perhaps you and I will be back, and we'll see how it goes. We want a little bit more excitement. We want to talk to you guys about what you're seeing, what questions you have. Hey, when they said that, what are you thinking? Like for instance, you see VCAT and Noah and all those guys going in this house and giving commands and detaining a guy inside of a house with a gun. What are you thinking? Like, well, it's his house, right? Can they actually do that? I was surprised we didn't see a lot of dialogue and questions about that. I think everybody was just starstruck by Noah's curly hair
Pretty much.
and his broad shoulders.
I think I saw someone call his hair out the back of his hat a Kentucky waterfall.
Get out of
'Cause, I
town.
got a wild bunch. I got a wild bunch on Twitter, and I think someone called it a Kentucky waterfall.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay. Kentucky waterfall. I'm down with that. I've never heard that terminology before. Hit my producer, put it on the Polopio recaps. Have you ever heard a mullet called a Kentucky waterfall at OPO recaps? Listen, we're going to be looking for questions from you guys tomorrow night whenever we do this again. If Alan's down, if Livid's down, his alter ego, then I'm down. You know what I mean? We're going to get some special guests to join us with more insight. I did want to talk about two more things before we go, unless you got something else. But One thing that I saw tonight that I really enjoyed was that stick hit from Lieutenant Blanning. That was quality police work, man. Because if you, we talked about stop sticks a little bit, and kind of tell people what you got to do to get a good stop stick hit, Livid.
The hardest thing about being a cop to me, especially when I was young, is that
Hmm.
when you hear there's a chase, you want to be in the chase. But the
Hmm.
really good people like him tonight, and if you when you saw the footage, you could see several of them were lined up
Hmm.
down the road. They had several chances at it. It's because they knew in their mind where the chase was going to go, not where it is,
Hmm.
and they met them there,
Yeah.
and he just was set up perfectly. And I saw other people set up along the way too, which means somebody's doing their job. Because if you got 20 cars behind a car,
Hmm.
the 20th guy is not getting more meat off the bone than the first guy. But if you're that guy 5 miles up the road waiting, they that was very well done, and I've seen Daytona do it very well too. But somebody has to be the cutoff man.
Yeah.
It's exciting to be the one chasing,
Hmm.
but somebody has to say, "Hey, if I go up," and sometimes you're parked at an intersection and they never come.
Right.
You know, and
Chance you
we've
take.
seen that too.
Yep.
We've seen that too. But I thought it was very well done. And when you have someone who's not caught up in the chase part and they're caught up in the let's stop the car part,
Yep.
um, like they did. It's like I said, if I remember correctly, I saw them pass multiple cars that were stopped, which means they were going to take a shot at it. And
Yep.
you don't want to spike your own guys. So it looked like some of them maybe didn't do it because they didn't want to spike. And I've seen that in real life. I've seen it on the show
Yeah.
where you spike your own guy. So I thought that was very well done. Maybe the best I've ever seen as far as the leapfrogging goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you don't always have that kind of help some places. Like when I was a county sheriff, you might not be anybody for 30 miles.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of country out here, especially in
Yeah.
Hillsborough County.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That
if you're
country.
out in Waimama, you know what I mean? If you're out in Waimama, I'm chasing one. Hey, you'd be lucky if if you're going 100 miles an hour away from your help.
Yeah.
But that
Just you.
was textbook to me, and I don't think people realize how beautiful that is if you've never tried to do it.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That leapfrogging and being the cutoff man, just like in baseball, right? If there's a rundown going off, or there's uh, hit the deep center, somebody's going to be the cutoff man for that the ball's coming in to play, right? Or the guy can get away from you, and making that educated guess about where he's going to go, it helps a little bit when you're in county roads as well, right? Right? They don't have like Daytona. There's a lot of side streets and surface streets they can cut off on, but in those
Right.
county areas like Richland, you can set up a long roadway. People don't know where they're going. It's perfect, and he got all four tires and missed his guy. I remember a few live nights ago, I stuck Noah by mistake after I stuck a car. It wasn't shown on the show, but I was like, oh no, it happens. It just happens.
It does happen. It does happen because they don't realize that there's a string, there's a little nylon string involved, but it's not so easy to pull it. My stop sticks from back in the day, they probably weighed 20 pounds, maybe more. So to pull that with one yank, it's not easy. Um,
No, it's not. It's
so
not. And it's
yeah,
very difficult. You gotta really measure it out just right, but you gotta be away from it so you don't get hit if he swerves.
right,
You saw VCAT talking tonight, Officer Carlin, about a chase that they had where they had ag assault LEO officers laying down spike strips, and as opposed to the driver swerving away from the sticks or the officer, he swerved away from the sticks towards the officer, causing the officer to fear for his life, jump out of the way. Bah, 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 bah. Very dangerous situation. And every time I stick a car, I'll say this and I'll let you go. Chief Taylor, hey man, did you have hard cover when you put those sticks down? Because he's seen it. And it's a bad situation if you don't have hard cover. Your police car is not hard cover.
mm-mm.
Bushes, not hard cover. Even some buildings ain't hard cover. You need like cement, footers and pylons, or otherwise it could be jammed up really bad.
Yeah, it's more dangerous probably than the chase part. Like you driving a car where you have
Mm-hmm.
some sort of tools in the car to help you keep, analog brakes and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
You're standing on the road. You're just standing on the road in the
Yep.
dark most of the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You could even argue sometimes that the people can't see you. I mean, it goes in every direction, you know, because
No
you're trying to
question.
make it, you're trying to be surprising with it, but you can surprise people to the point where they make another mistake, which is bad for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shout out to all those in Richland County. Lieutenant did a great job. Speaking of Richland County, our home girl behind the bun, Addie Perez. Congratulations to you and your family with the beautiful baby boy. Uncle Mike can't wait to see him. And speaking of which, OPL Recaps got him something. Now, by the time he gets it, he's probably gonna be too big for it. But we got him a little something from the crew. You know, we got him a little
Oh,
onesie. All right, listen, we got to get this to you. You know, you put him on it, put it on him, give us a little post, give a little shout out. You know what I mean? All right, Addie, we miss you. Can't wait to see you. Maybe I'll come up to Richland here in a couple of weeks. We'll see what happens. What do you think, Alan? Road trip?
yeah, let's go for it.
All right,
I've never
buddy.
been there.
Let's do it, man. It's been fun. I'll tell you that. All right. So tomorrow night, we're going to try this again, right? Maybe?
Yeah,
You cool with that?
yeah. I'll have to ask my boss over there, but I think it would be cool.
Your boss?
Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll.
We love y'all. We'll see what happens, man. We'll talk. Peace out, y'all.